Hello, fourth graders. Today you will be making an Andy Warhol inspired mural. This is a project created by an art teacher named Cassie Stevens from Nashville, Tennessee. The art we will be making today is inspired by Andy Warhol's colored Campbell's soup cans that you see on the screen. He made this in 1965. Can you believe that? This will be the final result of the mural you and your classmates will create. A mural is usually a painting on a wall or a ceiling. Murals are usually pretty big too. They may be in public places, such as outside of a building or indoors. The mural we'll be creating will be a drawing though, and this will be a collaboration project. Collaboration is when people work with each other to complete a task, and this project is inspired by pop art. Pop art is a style of art based on simple, bold images of everyday items, such as soup cans like what we're making, painted in bright colors. To do this project, you're also going to need some supplies, of course. The first one is going to be a 10 by 12 inch piece of white cardstock. You'll need a pencil as well. Make sure that it's sharpened for yourself and that you have an eraser in case you make any mistakes. You will also need a black Sharpie. I have two here that I'll go over in a few moments what the differences are. Of course, for this project, you're going to need some oil pastels, and we have a variety of colors that you'll be using as well. And you will also be given a 1 by 1.5 inch reference image from your teacher. Using a reference image means you are creating art based on a photograph. You will only make what you see. Now you might be thinking, what do soup cans have to do with Andy Warhol, and why did he like them so much? Well, pop art artists created pictures of product labels, photos of famous people and animals. Here you can see another artwork from Andy Warhol called Shop Maryland's from 1964. This artwork features a famous person in bold colors 4 times. Notice how the colors look bright together. This is called complementary colors. Complementary colors are colors on the complete other side of the color wheel. For example, we have red and green, yellow and purple, and orange and blue. Before we begin, I am going to explain how to use all of your supplies so that you are ready to start. To start this project, you will be using your pencil to sketch what you see from your reference image. Sketching means you draw very loosely. It's important to sketch first so that if you need to change something, you can erase before using your Sharpie. So as you can see here, I drew very loosely, and I'm just showing how to just go back in and erase those lines that you don't really need. Just make sure to wipe away all of those eraser bits that are left on your page, and then you can go back and go over your line again until you are happy. After that, you're going to go over your pencil lines with your black Sharpie. To use your Sharpie, you're either going to have it click down like what you see on here. So you just click it like a pin and it'll come right out for you. Or you may have a black Sharpie where you just take the lid off and you'll just put it back on when you're not using it anymore. And to use your Sharpie, you are going to just go over the lines that you just went over with your pencil. So you're just going to trace right over. Make sure you go exactly over your lines. After that, you're going to go in with your oil pastels. Oil pastels are little sticks of pigments or color. And because we're using oil pastels, that means they're always going to appear wet. So when you use them, you're going to notice that they look a lot different on paper than if you were using a crayon. It's a lot like spreading butter. And when you're using oil pastels, you want to make sure your hand's hovering over the paper, because if your hand touches the paper, it's going to smear your beautiful work. And I'm going to show you that right now. So right now I have my hand on the paper, and look, it's all smeared. So you just want to make sure that your hand is not resting on your paper. That way it doesn't mess up your beautiful work. Now that we know how to use our art supplies, we are going to talk about scaling an image. Scale is the size of one object in relation to the other objects in a design or artwork. You will want to take your reference image, and then you are going to sketch exactly what you see on your 10 by 12 inch paper. So you can see here, I am just going in and looking to see how far away the lines are in relation to the edges of my paper, and then I am just going in and loosely sketching that. And once you're happy with that, we can move on to using our Sharpie. Now I am going to trace over my pencil lines with my Sharpie. While you're going over your pencil lines, make sure to look at your reference image to see how thick or thin the lines need to be. You can always keep your reference image close by to see exactly what your drawing should look like. And once you know exactly where your lines are, you can just go ahead and go back in to see how thick or thin you need to make them. Make sure you're going in very slowly with your Sharpie since you cannot erase it. Sharpie is going to be permanent, so be careful not to get it on your clothes as well. Beautiful. Now we're going to go in with our colors. For this, I'm going to use blue and orange to create a bright, beautiful artwork with our complementary colors like we spoke about earlier. I am also going to have some purple in there as well. And remember, while you're coloring, to not put the palm of your hand down on your paper so that it does not smear your work. Once you're done coloring in all of your page, you shouldn't really see any white left, and then you're going to be done. So right now we're just going in with that blue, and make sure too, while you're coloring, to try to go in the same direction as you started. So here you can see I'm going back and forth with the same motion, just to make it all look nice and pretty. If you have lines going in different ways, it's going to sort of look a little messy. So as you can see here, we're just finishing all of that background color of that beautiful blue. Then we're going to go in with some orange and some purple to finish it off. I'm going to jump right over to show you the finished project of this with just coloring in all the rest of this page. And right here, you can see it now. We have it all filled in. This is what you will have made all by yourself. And once it's put up on the wall with all of your classmates' drawings, you will have collaborated to make an Andy Warhol inspired mural. Oh, all this talk about soup is making me hungry. I sure hope they're making chicken noodle soup for lunch. Have fun, friends.